I am Liz Arate, Chief Marketing Officer of We Are All Human. Thank you all for being here today on our first Hispanic Leadership Summit in the region. Thank you, 3M, for being incredible hosts. All good, yeah. Just as a reminder, as you all can imagine, regular work is happening here in the building, so let's be mindful of that and be as least disruptive as possible. If you need to go somewhere, we need to make sure that we are accompanied by a 3Mer, as we were escorted in the entrance. And unfortunately, our founder, Claudia, Romo, Edelman, couldn't be with us today, but she wanted to share with you some words to kick off the day. So having said that, we'll all be around in case you need anything. And to my friends up there, we're ready for the video. So welcome.
Good morning. Hola. Thank you for joining the Midwest Regional Hispanic Leadership Summit. I am so very sorry that I cannot be with you in person. I know it will be a day filled with impactful conversations and fruitful connections, and I'm really upset not to be there alongside of you all. But I am honored by 3M's generosity to be our amazing host today. We have felt the love and support throughout the entire process of making this happen from so many 3Mers, including the CEO, Mike Roman, joining us shortly as one of the kickoffs of the day's program. 3M, it is your partnership that made this event possible, and we thank you for facilitating this platform to collaborate in advancing our community. Mike's participation also exemplifies the important role of allies in efforts to advance our Latino community. We cannot do this alone, and we need allies in our corner to continue elevating our voice. With this in mind, I'm incredibly honored to have Beth Brady joining in my stead. She is one of our amazing We're All Human board members and a champion ally for the Hispanic community. She has been at our side and advancing We're All Human since the beginning, and it means so much that she's able to be here in my absence and to be a role model for the entire community. Thank you, Beth. We're All Human was in the Midwest in Chicago in 2019, and then COVID prevented our return. But this is our second of our regional events, and I'm incredibly proud and excited to have every time more presence in these regions to find Hispanic leaders where the community is growing and thriving, and where it's needed the most. Today, we gather leaders from all over the region, united to achieve three main goals together. Number one is to educate us all, to inspire us all about the Hispanic data, the market, our opportunities, the data, the opportunities, the facts and figures, the priorities, so that ideally we all realize how big this opportunity is and that we need to prioritize Latinos as a business imperative. Number two is to unify us by having a shared agenda, create a sense of community and come together as one voice. Number three is to mobilize corporate America as our key ally to make this progress happen, to move the needle and achieve our agenda. At the We're All Human Foundation, we have been inspired by the global framework of the Sustainable Development Goals and how it can be applied to our community to help us address the gaps and opportunities in a measurable way. We landscaped what we call the HSDGs, the Hispanic Sustainable Development Goals, and identified in 2024 priorities: good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, and decent work and economic growth. Today, throughout the sessions, we will have conversations tied to these goals, as well as talking about the Hispanic promise, reaching the Hispanic community, and learning about what's next for us as Latinos. The theme that we're choosing for 2022 is breakthrough. We truly believe we're about to break through. We've never been so strong, never been so ready. All the conditions to win are here. We believe that we can be the last generation of Hispanics that is not seen, not heard, and not valued. But you don't have to believe me. Let's look at the data. Yes, Hispanics, Latino, Latinx, whatever you want to call us, as long as you pay us well, it's okay. We are the people. 62 million people, 19% of the population today, but tomorrow, 30% of the population. Yes, by 2050, 1 in every 3 Americans will be Latinos. Hello, hello, hola. Hello, hello, hola. Why? We are 51% of the population growth and the most common interracial marriage in the country. We're very generous with our law. We're not only the many, we're the youth. Our mode, which is the most common age of 62 million people, is 11. The mode of non-Hispanics, 58. So you can only imagine. We're also the economy. Hispanics are responsible for $2.6 trillion of the GDP, which ranks us among the top 10 GDPs of the entire world. Our purchasing power is growing by the minute, right now ranking at $1.9 trillion. So that means we account for 68% of growth in the auto industry, 68% of video game usage, 40% of new home growth. Wherever you want to see it, Latinos are growth. And not only growth economically, but we are entrepreneurial. 86% of all new businesses launched in the past 10 years were started by Latinos. 1 in every 5 entrepreneurs in this country is a Hispanic. An extraordinary 74% of new workers in the US are Hispanics, and we account for 40% of all workforce growth. And we believe in education. Hispanics are outpacing other groups in pursuing higher education, building new skills, because we deeply understand the connection between education and opportunity. Our mothers do, our grandmothers do. We invest in education. We believe in responsibility, in our responsibility for the American dream. We are helping to write the continued story of this country by paying our taxes, by contributing to Social Security through larger voter turnout and disproportionately large numbers in the military. In an aging America, Latinos are key to support the rest of the country. So overall, I hope that you understand the data is clear. Hispanics are growth. And this community is powerful. There's no way that you can hire or sell without Latinos. No politician can win any election without our Hispanic community. We do have structural barriers that we have to overcome, as I mentioned before: education, health, gender, jobs. But there are other barriers that we can tackle and that we can overcome so that we can make it easier to achieve that breakthrough. And those are the actions that we're going to be talking about throughout the day so that we can all take action and be in the solution mode. But first, let me address the fact that we are a massive community that is not monolithic at all. We come in all forms and shapes. Yeah, Latinos, Latinas, Hispanics, queer, trans, Afro-Latinos, Indigenous, Asian, Catholics, Jewish, Buddhists, Protestants, tall, short, blonde, brown, we're all of that. Yes, we're all of that coming from 26 different countries of origins that need to become one and act as one. One community united and in support of each other, because we do not act as one right now. We're clearly enriched by our differences, but we tend to focus more on those differences than in our shared dream that could unite us. That makes us really fragmented. And although understandably, we're still dominated by a scarcity mentality. Let us explore a little further this thought. A scarcity mentality is an idea or a worldview that opportunities, resources, or success are rare and limited, and as such, we have to guard them. So when I say it's understandable, it is because the world has been quite limiting for many of us. We're merely breaking ground. In many cases, we're the first person in our family to go to college, the first person to get into a senior position, or maybe even the first person that can ever dream of making $1 million or creating multi-generational wealth. Yes, our scarcity mentality is understandable, but it is not justifiable and not desirable. Having a scarcity mindset can be a self-fulfilling prophecy because these beliefs make it difficult to move forward and to live in abundance. Because those ideas, those beliefs, keep us from dreaming big, from demanding our worth and a rightful place. These beliefs put us inside of a bubble that makes the world seem small and the oxygen limited. So no wonder we elbow each other instead of supporting each other, because we think that each opportunity might be the last, and that inside of the bubble, there's not enough air for all of us to breathe. No wonder we don't speak up when one of us is attacked, offended, or pushed out, because we might think that our position might be at risk. It is time. It is time to burst the bubbles once and for all, and to realize that the air is abundant for all and every one of us, that there is not one seat at the table, because there is no table. There is only a country full of opportunities for every Latino to thrive if we help each other, if we support each other. It is time for us as a community, for this group, to realize we have to move from the scarcity mentality to the abundance mentality, to make that important shift for our community. It is essential that we surround ourselves with people that want the same dream, that want to change, people that are ready to grow and prosper and support each other. We are, at the end of the day, the result of the average of our group. So we have to have a great group, a group of people that are echados pa'lante, surrounded with abundance mentality, that want to support each other, that want to share the access code and open the door for each other. And that is why we are gathered here. That's why we gathered you here, because we want to convene and create those intentional networks of support with and for those leaders that believe that our time is now and that we are ready to break through. You leaders in the Midwest, you are ready to finish the job. You're ready to cross the finishing line so that every Latino can be seen, heard, and valued. We need to understand that united, we are strong, because despite our differences and the diversity of our community, there's one thing that truly, truly unites us. I've been obsessing about what unifies the Latino community, So I started looking at the data, and surely if you look at the data, you can see the differences. But if you start playing with the data, when you start looking at the movement, at the camera, when the data movement, you realize that all of us are moving in the same path. And there's one thing that defines the Hispanic experience in the US, and that is our desire to progress. And that is our desire to believe in the American dream and go forward. And that is why our families, whether they came in the 1500s or 15 days ago, they came here because we believe in the arc of the American story. We believe that through hard work, commitment, and perseverance with values, we have the opportunity to set lofty goals and achieve them. This is not simply aspirational. This is empirical, and it's easily measured by any one of us, by our contributions to the economy, by our contributions to the country. So ladies and gentlemen, here is the main conclusion. Hispanic progress is American progress. They are bound together, intrinsically, inevitably. So it is essential that we invest in the future of America to have a prepared and educated workforce. That means that we absolutely need to prioritize and invest in the Latino community and find ways to advance and engage genuinely with employees, suppliers, consumers, and the community, because the future of Latinos is the future of America. The change we're here to make doesn't come from tearing down, but building up. And that is what unites us all here today, because we are all committed to progress, aren't we? We're all pursuing growth, aren't we? We all believe in making the world better and to be part of history. And every one of us has a role to play. I end these words today with sadness not being with you today by quoting one of my favorite authors, Isabel Allende, when she wrote, "We only have what we give." My heart is broken, our heart is broken for the atrocities and the hits of the Hispanic children. Hispanic children, our American youth. So today I pay tribute to the strength of the Latino spirit, resilient, hard worker, family, friends. Times of crisis and tragedy call on us to be even closer together, to extend our arms to our families, our extended and larger Latino community, because in the end, we are enriched by our actions and the things we do. I believe we have much to give and to share with each other to make a difference. We are on that path today to embrace each other and strengthen our networks of support. Thank you again, 3M, for being our generous host and an amazing role model company who cares and is taking action to advance our community. Thank you to the incredible co-hosts and strategic committee members who guided the curation of this event and this group here today. And thank you to 3M, General Mills, Palladian, Arts Education, and US Bank for making this possible. Let us start the day by being ready and open-minded to move from the scarcity mentality to the abundance mindset, to take someone with you, because the higher you go, the lonelier it gets. Let's get ready to create inclusive environments. I hope that today paints the picture of how to make this change a reality, of who to make the change with, because this is our time, and together we shine.